everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the Descope Client SDK and show you how to use it to add authentication to a React app. If you've seen our other videos, you may have seen us use Descope flows, where you drop a web component into your app and Descope renders the login screens for you. The Client SDK is a different approach. You're building your own UI, your own forms and screens, and Descope handles the authentication backend and session management underneath. So if you want full control over your front-end experience, this is the path. Let's get into it. So I've already got a simple React app running here. It's a fresh Vite app with the Descope React SDK installed. Right now, all it has is a sign-in screen, an email input, and a button to send a code. That's what we're going to walk through. This is what the app looks like on the landing page. And this is the structure of the backend. I'm using VS Code as my IDE, and we have main.jsx and app.jsx, which is really all that we've touched from the template. One quick thing that's worth mentioning, if you're using Next.js, Descope also has a dedicated Next.js SDK. It works the same way as the React SDK on the client side, but it also includes a middleware layer that handles the token validation on the server. So you can get both front-end and back-end auth in one package. From the client perspective though, the hooks and auth methods you're seeing in this video apply the exact same way. This is what the middleware section looks like, and you can see more details in the Descope docs. If you're starting from scratch, after creating your React app, you just run this npm install Descope React SDK command, and that's the only dependency you need to add. Back in main.jsx, the first thing you do is wrap your app with Descope's auth provider. This is what gives every component in your app access to auth state, whether the user is logged in, what their session token is, and so on. Your project ID comes from the Descope console under Settings and Project. We're storing it in an env file that I created and reading it as an environment variable here. There are a few optional parameters worth knowing about on the auth provider beyond just the project ID. Persist tokens controls whether session tokens are stored in local storage. It's on by default. If you want to reduce XSS risk, you can turn this off and handle token storage yourself. Session token via cookie is a newer option. If persist tokens is on, the token goes to local storage by default. Set this to true if you'd rather store it in a cookie instead. Store last authenticated user saves the last authenticated user's info so you can access it with get user. And that's on by default too. And keep last authenticated user after logout keeps that user's info around even after logout, which is useful if you want to pre-fill the login form with their email when they come back. That one is off by default. You don't need to set any of these explicitly to get started since they all have sensible defaults, but they're good to know about as your app grows. Now let's look at the actual auth logic. If we go into app.jsx, here's where we're using 3 hooks from the SDK. UseSession gives us is authenticated and is session loading. So we know whether the user is logged in and whether the session is still being checked on mount. UseUser gives us the user object, which is things like their name and email pulled from the JOT. And useDescope gives us the SDK itself, so we can call auth methods. The sign-in flow itself is 2 steps. First we call sdk.otp.signin.email. With the user's email, that sends them a one-time code. Once they enter the code, we verify it over here. And if that succeeds, Descope sets the session automatically. This is authenticated, state updates, and the UI switches to the authenticated view. And that's really it. There's no token handling, no redirect logic. The SDK takes care of all of that. For error handling, we're keeping it simple here, just catching any errors from the SDK calls and showing a message to the user. In a real app, you'd want to handle specific error codes, but the pattern is the same. So now let's see it in action. I'll type in my email here and hit send code. So now I'm gonna go check if I got a code in my inbox. So here's the code that I received. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna paste it in here and click verify. And there we go, we're signed in. The welcome message is pulling the user's email directly from the use user hook. And if I hit logout, I'm taken back to the sign-in page. One thing worth calling out is what happens when a user comes back to your app after already being signed in. Because UseSession makes a request to Descope on mount to try to refresh the session, returning users get restored automatically. They don't have to sign in again. The isSession loading flag is what you use to show a loading state while that is happening. So you don't flash the login screen at a user who's already authenticated. The SDK also exposes reactive listeners if you want more fine-grained control over auth state changes. Things like on-session token exchange and on-is authenticated change, which are useful for more complex apps where multiple parts of the UI need to respond to auth state. You can find those documented under auth helpers in the Client SDK docs. Another quick note is if you're calling your own backend API from the front end, you'll want to attach the session token to your requests. You do that with getSessionToken from the SDK. That will look something like this. Your backend then validates that token using the Descope backend SDK, but that's a separate video. One of the newer additions to the Client SDK is the built-in OIDC login support. If you're using Descope's inbound apps, which let your applications act as its own OAuth provider, you can configure the SDK to authenticate through that OIDC flow by passing an OIDC config object to the auth provider. That looks something like this. I haven't implemented it in this example, but this is what the pattern looks like. The issuer and the client ID values come from your inbound app's setting page in the Descope console. Once configured, you can trigger login by calling sdk.oidc.login with redirect. This is the path you'd use if you're building AI agents or anything that needs to participate in OAuth flows. In the Descope console, if you go into Federated Apps and click the OIDC default application, this is where, once login with redirect kicks off the flow, you will have two options for where the user lands to actually authenticate. You can redirect them to a page in your own app that has a Descope flow component embedded in it, and you can do that by pasting this issuer URL into your code. Or you can use Descope's out-of-the-box auth hosting page, which requires zero setup in your end. You can see that by clicking the flow hosting URL, and this is what it will look like. It's already configured for your project, and both options work with the same OIDC config. And the last thing we're going to cover in this video is widgets. Widgets are embeddable components you can drop into your app to give the users self-service capabilities. This is things like managing their own profile, inviting teammates, or managing access keys, without you having to build all of that UI yourself. You embed them just like any other component by passing in your project ID. These are really useful for B2B apps where your customer admins need to manage their own team directly inside your application. They all look something like this and are fully customizable. You can view the docs on widgets at docs.descope.com, and we also have another video published going into more detail about widgets. And that's the overview on Descope Client SDK. You wrap your app with the auth provider, use the use session, use user, and use Descope hooks to access auth state and call auth methods. And the SDK handles token storage and session management automatically. On top of that, you've got OIDC login support for more advanced identity federation use cases, and self-service widgets for giving users management capabilities inside your app. The full docs and the link to sign up for a free Descope plan is linked in the description below. Thank you for watching.